2, 3,
We're good.
4. Sam laughed and I messed up my timing.
Sorry. Gotta do what you gotta do.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm just hanging out.
I don't know what she's doing.
I was
Anyways,
just reclining. It wasn't that exciting.
It wasn't. Okay, anyways. So, this is going to be an intro.
Okay, I'm ready. Hyped.
3, 2, 1. Rah, rah, ah, ah, ah. Roma, Roma, ah, ga, ga, ooh la la. Want your bad Romang.
Nice.
Very good.
Flicks.
I was into that one. I was dancing and everything.
I was trying to get a Coach Beard impression of Lady Gaga. Do you remember that episode, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I feel like we haven't sung in a while, although that's probably not accurate. I think we did a couple
Tim,
episodes
we were
ago.
banished, don't you remember, from accents and singing this season?
Oh, that's true.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I lumped singing in there.
You did.
I think I just lumped accents because y'all were getting a little too crazy with those. You're getting wild with those. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Did you say your name?
I
Did you
did.
state your purpose?
I did. I said, I did my intro. I said, we're Flipper Flicks and I'm Adam.
Okay.
And now I've said it twice.
Well, yeah, you just gotta make sure. I'm Sam. We
There
have
she
social
goes.
media.
She said her name.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, @FlipFlix. We got a website where you can recommend movies for us. It's www.flipflix.com. Please recommend movies for us. And we'll get to them when we roll them on the wheel. And let's see. We release episodes every 1 p.m. Eastern Time on all the magic podcasting.
Magic of the
I don't know why.
podcast. She's like, y'all can't do an accent, but I'm going to throw one in sometimes.
This is why he got banned from accents.
Why did I get
If you
banned?
weren't here for that leg of the podcast, just take it and rolls with it. Anyway, where was I going with that? That we release episodes every Thursday at that time on all the major podcasting platforms, not the magic podcasting platforms.
I mean,
I
sometimes
don't
it
even
could
know.
be magical.
Yeah, I don't even know what qualifies a podcasting platform as magic. That was a lot of P's. Podcasting platform. I'm getting in my head over here.
Podcasting platform.
Running amok off the railway here.
Did you
Yeah,
get
the
everything?
major podcasting platforms like Apple, Google, Spotify.
Anchor.
Anchor.
You gotta say our host.
Yeah. And if you wanted to rate us, that'd be cool. It's on Amazon
pretty chill, bro.
and Podchaser and Apple. Actually, I don't know
Can't
if you
prove
can
it.
rate us on Amazon. I think I just
Can't prove it.
said that. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm losing it. I feel like I haven't had to do this in a while, so I am releasing the control over to Tim. Tim, what did we watch?
What did we roll?
Yeah,
We're all
it was
falling
the,
apart.
the AI suggestion.
Yes.
Yes.
So we
yeah.
got the Wailing, and then you picked what?
The Taxi Driver, which
Okay.
is a film I actually really want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It has the main character from like Parasite
Right.
and the host.
I saw that.
And I was like, I really want to see this.
Yep. And then Sam
and then-
picks.
I picked The Farewell, and I was trying to rig the game, I'm going to be honest. I went through every single movie, and another
single one.
round popped up with Mads Mikkelsen, and I was like, ooh, but if I roll wrong, I'm going to have to watch another crazy movie, and I don't want to do that. So I picked The Farewell, which is supposed to be like a dramedy,
Yeah.
which brought us to, I don't know what selections were in there. It seemed like it was a nice hodgepodge of stuff.
Romang. I actually don't know if it's pronounced Romang.
Because, like, Knives Out was in there, I think,
Yes, it was.
in your
Yeah.
final pool
Well,
list.
okay,
Like,
so I
feel
had
like
pulled it up a
served you
couple
some normal
times, and
stuff.
like it was different
Yeah.
almost every time. But there was like it was like gave me two different lists every time I would pull it up. It was the same list, but
That's
like
so
two different
funny.
ones. It was weird. So then I went off that, and I did almost pick that one, Adam, because I had the same thought.
Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
It
And then
good.
I
It looks
went back,
good.
like, because I looked at it one time, I was like, oh, I'll pick later. Came back, it was not on the list that time. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through here. And I found Romang, and I was like, I'm up for a movie that is just completely heart-wrenching. I'm like, I don't know that we've done one, and I want a movie, and this
We
sounded
haven't.
like it. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to crush it with this. So I picked Romang.
Yeah, because I was definitely expecting like a Korean action film.
Yeah,
Like,
I knew you were too.
I was like, he's gonna pick Train to Busan. He's definitely picking Train to Busan.
I laughed when you sent this because I was like, dude, did Tim read the synopsis
I
of this
know.
movie?
I didn't believe that you like knew what you picked. There was like so much doubt that you actually picked this film. We're like,
it's like so not a Tim movie. I'm like, how did this happen?
Did Tim just like throw it and then click while I was flicking it?
But that makes so much more sense now. Nice.
Yeah, so we watched it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's how we got the suggestions.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
But yeah, Tim, so what's this movie about, yo?
All right, the synopsis for this one, for Romang. It is a Korean film as well, so there you go.
Double Korean.
So, in this heart-wrenching drama, an elderly couple married for 45 years both begin to suffer from dementia. But even as their memories fade, their love only grows stronger. So I was like, nailed it. I saw that and I was like, done. I didn't watch trailer, I just read the synopsis. But I didn't know when this was from, but I guess it's 2019. And then
yeah, it was new.
Oh.
It doesn't feel that way when you're watching it. I would warn you.
Yeah, I don't know that it felt old, but it definitely felt indie-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it felt like a sitcom without the laugh track.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It did kind of at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yeah, so Tim, what were you expecting? You're just heart to be ripped out from two elderly people who are forgetting themselves?
Yeah, I kind of just read that and I was like, this is going to be awful. It is just going to hurt. Like, it's just one of those movies. I was looking for something with, like, intense emotion. I don't know why. I just was.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the runtime of this movie, which I probably should have.
God damn. 2 hours.
Yeah.
By the way.
And it's just like, it's one of those... My idea was, like, it's going to be one of those movies that just hits your soul when, like, you just feel it. And that's really what I was looking... That's all my expectations. That's all I was looking for. I don't know why I was in that mood, but I was like, we haven't really done it, so let's go with that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So that's really my expectations. I mean, nothing more than that.
Nice.
Someone else
I'll
go.
go next. I'll go. So, I mean, I have elderly folk. Like my great grandma, before she passed, she lost a lot of her memory. Mm-hmm. She could only like remember my dad. So like people would like out of my immediate family. So like, I mean, I knew it was going to be tough because, like, I have seen memory loss in person. Like, I know that my grandpa has asked me the same 3 questions about 5 times in a single night. And, like, you might see it as I change the response slightly each time to see if, like, hoping that that'll, like, embed it better. But it doesn't always. But it can be rough. So I knew that this was going to be a tough one, in theory. That's what I was expecting, a tough film to watch. And Sam.
Yeah. Well, I was confused why Tim picked it, so I'm glad you gave me that.
I was too.
I knew I got you going with that. I knew it.
You threw me off. I like it. I thought the cover looked cute. It looked cute. I read the synopsis and I was like, God, I don't want to watch this because it's very much like it's very prevalent in my family. We'll just say that it's very near and dear to both current situations and past situations. So I was like, ugh, I'm not sure I want to watch this. So I think hitting the nail on the head, it being gut-wrenching or just being something that a lot of people probably deal with that is hard to deal with. So I was like, all right. But coming off of the Wailing, I was like, well,
yeah,
I don't think it's really going to make me happy, but I don't think I'm really going to, be pooping my pants.
Yeah.
So I was, yeah.
I will say, you watch 2.5 hours of The Wailing and go into a 2-hour Korean drama.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting night.
It's a long night. Tim, did you butt them up, or was
I started to? Well, okay, so I watched the first one.
Okay.
And then took a break essentially.
Yeah. Fair.
I went back and started watching this one, and I fell asleep. like a
Fair.
third of the way through, essentially. But I was alright. I mean, I kind of watched it like I was going to bed. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep during this. I know it, and I'll pick it up later, which I did today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting pick off the bat.
Yeah.
And then there was like, did you have the URL that was like in the middle of your screen?
Oh yeah, like the
At the very
watermark
beginning?
at the beginning. I was like, is this gonna be here the whole time?
I know.
And it was like moving.
It was moving down.
Yeah, and it would like change sizes. And then at one point there was like a bed, and I was like, is it hidden in the bed now? Can I not see it because it's like matching the bed?
I know what you're talking about. I looked at it. It's filecity.co.kr, which also File City also is Felicity. So it was actually kind of hard to find the website without directly going to it.
Yeah.
I did not click it. It looked sketchy. I don't know why that was there.
So that was a little distracting.
So I missed the first part of the film.
Well, I can sum it up for you. It was the grandpa being a dick.
Yeah. Tim, did you think he was a dick?
What the movie or just like the I'm confused.
The beginning part,
Oh.
the grandpa.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is this up for debate? I didn't think it was.
I just like to try and throw Tim off.
Yeah. Sometimes you guys
With-
just scatter my brain. I don't know where
I know.
He's like, wait, deer in the headlights. Why did they call upon me for this?
This is clearly a yes. Why is Adam confirming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I was confused by it. Like, why is he just such an ass?
Right, like I don't understand. He just is.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to like reconcile that, and like throughout the movie, you like learn that he just wanted to like provide for his family.
That's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted. So I guess
He didn't want to be a good dad. He wanted to just provide.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily want to be like a good dad or a good husband. He just wanted to provide for them. I don't know. It was hard. But they were married for a long time, so I just kind of chalked it up to they must have had a lot of baggage. And clearly, as the film goes on, they do have some baggage with their dead daughter.
child?
Right.
That- yeah. Were they twins? They were twins, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they were.
They were either twins or very close
They were
in
close
age.
in age for sure, yeah.
It was weird. And then, so, my sitcom comment.
Yeah.
I think it was because of the way the screen was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. When they were in the house, it always felt like it reminded me of watching Seinfeld or like Friends from the 90s. And it just didn't have the laugh track.
Yeah, it felt weird. Like, it felt like the lighting was too bright in the house, I think, or something.
And
Like,
we don't know what we're talking about.
it kind of reminded me of like Old Lady House, the Sunny episode. I don't know why.
Oh, lady.
But,
house.
like, I don't know. The lighting was like too bright, and then I feel like something that threw me off was like the subtitles. Whenever there was like gloomy music, it would say like gloomy music.
Yeah.
So that like
that always drives me nuts in movies when they do that. You're like, I don't need that. Like, I have emotions.
Yeah, like-
I understand what's going on.
yeah,
I can't, like,
and
I understand why it's
yeah,
there.
I understand
Yeah,
it's for closed
I mean, it's-
captioning
yeah.
that, but it's like, I don't know. To me, that almost like, I'm like, if I could have erased that, would that have made it maybe a better experience?
That's my
I don't
issue
know.
with movies, though. Like, so somebody that uses that has to read that. They can't hear, right?
Yeah.
that
Obviously,
person.
yeah.
What besides definition of the word, like gloomy, do they?
Oh, that's
they
true.
don't have the feeling of like. I mean,
They don't
they
know
can
what
still
that
feel
gloomy
like
sound
vibrations
is.
and shit, but like, does that help with? I don't know. I don't know enough deaf people to have that answer, but like, I don't understand why it's even there. Like,
It could be for those folks that had hearing for most of their life and
Could
go
be.
deaf
absolutely.
as it go. Like, there's multiple different time, like a different time of life when people become deaf. So someone who becomes deaf halfway through their life knows what gloomy music is. So I'm going with those guys.
Yeah. I don't know. It did take me out of it
It
sometimes.
did.
Too.
It
And
threw
that,
me off constantly. I wanted to say that.
That had nothing to do with it feeling like a sitcom, though. That was just another beef point that I
No.
had for a little bit.
It only felt like a sitcom when they were in the house, though.
Yeah, I don't know why that was. I don't know. I think it's because like the son was like, he didn't have a job, and so he was just kind of skulking around. It was like the typical, like, kind of trope of like, oh, I don't have a job, and my parents hate me, and my wife hates me because of that, and like, I don't know. It felt very cliche.
It's literally what the old man dreamed of.
Yeah.
Like, that was his dream, was to provide a house and money for the family.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, like, he's very much at odds with his son because his son is not doing that at all.
Yeah, but then at the same time, he's still doing his dream. They had a quote from Paulo Coelho from the beginning, and I was like...
Yeah, I thought that was going to be more relevant. I was really
something
confused.
about dreams.
It was like, oh, when you want something to happen, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. And I was like, what does that have to do with this film?
Right.
Except for, like, they like, tie it back at the very end with that last scene.
Okay.
But throughout the film, I mean, you just see this guy getting a fucking carrot on a stick about a professor role.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his dream.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the fuck the wife does.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
She makes the money, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. The grandma, Maisha,
Mm-hmm.
she just seemed like a friendly old lady, except for when she was going through a moment.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair. And I think the reactions are fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she starts pulling my hair, I won't be fucking happy either.
Yeah, that's true.
Gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be understanding, but, like,
It's
sometimes
hard.
it's gonna be a bad reaction.
Yeah. And I think it's correct because you don't always have the patience that you need, right? Like, that's why there are caregivers and home givers and stuff like that. Like, you like to say that, like, you won't get pissed off when they have a moment, but...
It's hard to always be patient.
Yeah. And then I thought it was... It's just kind of like... I don't know. The guy was, like, such a laughable dick in a way at the beginning. Like,
Sure,
it's
the grandpa?
so ridiculous. Yeah.
Right.
Where he's like, she's clearly having these moments. She's losing her memory. And he's like, find the cheapest, farthest place away.
Yeah, like...
Bang 'em and bend 'em joint,
Yeah,
man.
bang 'em and bend 'em.
I just kept saying that.
Like, I don't know. And then they roll up to, like, this clearly, like, not great nursing home. And he's like, we can't possibly put her here. And it's like, what do you mean? I was just following the assignment.
I know. I actually didn't think that was that bad looking.
No.
No, but it wasn't, like, the next place they took her to.
Yeah, the next place was bougie.
Well, and then he's also, like, kind of a dick because then they drop her off at this nice place, so it makes you think that he's, like, gonna visit her and shit, and then he doesn't, and you're like, what the fuck?
I know.
I don't know. He was just, like,
That's because he drinks too much cold water.
and gets diarrhea.
I didn't
And he
understand
gets
that.
diarrhea.
What?
Is that a thing? Like, I don't think so.
I don't drink cold things necessarily. I don't like cold products. They hurt my teeth.
I know. You should really watch him
okay.
do the blue hole. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second.
But I don't understand that. I've never heard that before.
I didn't either. I
I'm
was
like,
like, what?
That is not something I've ever heard before.
I know. Yeah, cold water gives you diarrhea. Like in this one human's particular case?
Yeah.
Or is this like a generic thing and I shouldn't be drinking cold water?
Yeah, like we should know about this.
Do we need a public public service announcement?
For digestion purposes, like room temperature water, like not ice cold water is better for you.
Don't tell Sam that.
I love ice cold water.
No, there's times when that shit's refreshing, right? Like, well, maybe not. Time. Yeah, for you, like all that. For me, it's like I don't like cold shit. So, regular water is super refreshing. But sometimes I'm like, I need water, and if it's cold, and it's just like super good. But like, if your body's hot and like, been working and doing
bothered.
stuff, yeah, cold water is not good for you necessarily. Like, your body has to warm it up to a temperature to where it then can digest it properly or whatever in the stomach, and it's whatever. It's kind of a shock to your system drinking super cold water when your body's really worked or whatever. So I don't know. That's part of the reason why I'm like, yeah, sweet, not cold water. But at the same time, I don't know how much it actually matters. It just hurts my teeth. So That's my brain.
Do you remember the blue hole though, Tim?
Oh, of course I remember Blue Hole.
Like, so we got fish bowls
Oh, I forgot about this.
from the contemporary at Disney
God.
World. At Magic Kingdom,
Yep.
to be specific. And so we got 3 of these fish bowls because
Why not?
why wouldn't you get 3 for us 3 idiots?
Right, yeah.
Not, we said 1 each, asshole.
We did not say that. We're not assholes. Anyways, I think I had mine down relatively quickly. And these 2...
It took me fucking
These 2 were on the struggle bus.
It was cramping me up. Like,
It was
my
terrible.
stomach was like in a knot.
It was just so
Awful.
funny because I think we've gotten it with our other friends, and like I can just kill them.
Yeah. It's so weird. I mean, I know it's a fishbowl and like easily half of it is ice, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
and, like, I don't know, something about how cold it is and the amount of alcohol. It like cramps you up.
man.
It doesn't
My
make any
stomach
sense.
did not want
Do I
anymore.
recall Tim like laying down?
I laid down. I
In the
100%
booth?
laid down in one of the booths. Yep.
And the guy, it was so funny. The bartender was like, yeah, I don't know if it was the original bartender that served us or like a hostess later. We were like sitting there and Adam's like ready to go basically because he finished his like a half an hour ago. And me and Tim are like clearly in pain and have
Yeah.
a lot left. And she's like, well, if you're in pain, don't finish it. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Of course
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
finish
finish
it.
Like,
Do you
Give
know
me
how
another one.
expensive
No.
this was?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess there's something to be said for cold drinks. But
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I
welcome.
every once in a while look at it on my Snapchat stories, like save. me.
You're like, oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
painful.
that was fun.
But anyways, back to Romang. Is it
Yeah.
Romang or Romang?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
Like, I feel like it's supposed to be a play on the word romance.
Yeah, kind
That's what I thought.
Maybe
but
that's
I don't know
what
if
it
that's
stands
true.
for. I didn't even look that up.
I didn't either. Anyways, so before she gets put in the Benjamin Binner joint and then changed over to the nice place, she's cutting people's hair.
Right.
Yeah.
And then her son is doing a fucking like multi-level marketing scheme.
For like mats, yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
like a yoga mat or
And
something.
she's like
Anti-fatigue
okay
naps.
with it.
Yeah. She's
She
like,
was in on it.
Yeah,
yeah,
she
was
was.
like super proud of him when he was like, well, how many do you need? Like, I don't know. That was funny.
I was just like, the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, that was
I can
good.
get you a really good deal. Well, that now I know it's a scam.
Yeah. $100 off. Like, what?
Right, that's kind of wild.
Oh man. And then okay, so she gets sent to the nursing home, and then he starts losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts to get a little rough, I think.
Yeah. Well, before he took her, that was like the nicest experience they had together. He was actually sweet to her, and like they just were talking very friendly, like not how he is most of the time.
Wait, what experience?
Did he take him to a lake? Did he take her
The
to a
picnic
lake?
thing?
picnic?
No, before that. There was a time before that where she had an episode, and he just learned that she was losing her memories,
Right.
Okay.
and because he thought it was just headaches,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like he takes her out and they talk and like they have this nice sweet moment, and I'm like, so you can be nice,
Right.
And he goes home and he's an asshole,
And then he's an
again.
asshole
I'm
again.
like,
Yeah.
fucking hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the picnic scene though
Mhm.
was the story of our life. They roll up somewhere closed on Mondays, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel this.
Yeah.
It's the story of our life. Sam would be like, hey, can we go here? I'll be like, no, it's fucking closed. But it's Wednesday. I don't know. It's closed.
I did appreciate that they just like squatted in the
I
parking lot and had
know.
a picnic.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go. Way to make the best of it. Plus, that bathroom was sweet. There's like an owl or some bird on the
Right.
outside.
Right?
And
And then the
then-
grandma disappears.
And
Yeah.
then poof.
Meja.
Who would
And
have
then, poof,
thought?
I'm here. Who? Why didn't
that
they
was
check the
fun. Like when
That was funny.
they like found her, and they were like basically
Oh.
screaming. So like part of this movie was like hard because it's like sad, right? But then
Right.
part of it was like, I don't know, it was filled with some like heartwarming moments, which was nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just like over the top silliness.
And I couldn't tell, like, it feels like it's not that they rushed it, because I'm sure like dementia can just set in on you immediately,
Right.
and stuff will happen. But I feel like there are forgetful moments that happen more often. In fact, like in a slower pace than they did for them. I found it was like accelerated.
Yeah, it seemed like it, but for the movie maybe, but I don't know.
I don't know. I've not had it. I've not been in close contact.
Yeah. So, ow. Okay, so this is funny to me for a minute. Let me get my composure back.
Yeah. Tim's already laughing. He's already messed himself up here.
So, if you hear anything odd in my audio, I had to resist, which is why I just laughed for a second. My cat attacking my foot. So, if anybody hears just random like me, like going or trying to like, it's because my cat just fucking attacked the shit out of my foot, and now she's chewing on my shoes, which are
so yeah. We'll have been talking like all this heartwarming stuff until
in the background you're gonna hear I am not laughing at the heartwarming stuff. It is my cat.
Goddamn cat.
Yo, you get away.
Kick the
She's
kitty.
stalking my
Don't
feet.
kick the kitty. What was I talking about?
Yes. You were talking about the accelerated
Oh yeah,
aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how accurate that is. I am not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt kind of sporadic at the beginning, which like I feel like it is.
Or like a little more dramatic than maybe it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are stories of people like getting out of their house and having to get picked up by cops.
No,
Oh,
I
100%.
mean the like they're just like there, and then all of a sudden they're completely different people. But I imagine that is kind of how it is.
Like, so was my great grandma when she went back. She kept calling my dad like his childhood name.
Yeah.
Like she literally was teleported back.
They go back in
30
time, like they go
years.
back in their memories. Yeah. No, I know all that, but I'm just saying like in the movie it seemed a little. Maybe it's because they didn't actually have, dementia, so it didn't seem natural.
I couldn't tell if it was Alzheimer or dementia. I'm not good at telling the difference.
Yeah, and I like the scene that seemed the most realistic to me was when she was in the kitchen and she was like making noodles and like forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That seems like really, really realistic. I think the part that felt over dramatized, but could very well be how it is sometimes, was when he like kind of forgot how to drive and crashed.
Or like he drove off into the woods or something.
He drove off the woods, stood out there, paranormal activity style, and then came back in. Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess technically you could be out driving and get lost or something, right? And then he's like, "Where am I?" And so I don't know. It felt odd because it felt like they had moments of being normal and then moments of being like
just a full brain fog.
Yeah, but I think that's probably accurate.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think they would have, the director, the writer would have like
did justice
to the
actual situation.
Yeah. And then like it got really sad like when they were both doing it together, like when he all of a sudden
themselves in.
Yeah, well, I mean I thought that was kind of cute when they were like leaving notes for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh." And then like I don't know why I thought it was funny, but like the necklaces they made for themselves that said they were like dementia patients and to call 911. I mean, that's pretty sad, but I thought it was funny for some reason.
They were laughing because they laughed, so I laughed.
Yeah. And but then you like get the sad parts when they like start to revert back to a kid and she's like throwing the popcorn everywhere, and then like the one time when he like couldn't make it to the bathroom on time, I was like, okay, I can't, like this
that's
is rough. Yeah.
At one point he says she can't read.
I was confused by that.
And then later they're talking about
they like have
clearly
they're going
reading
back and forth. Yeah.
She can't read English.
Yeah, because the granddaughter was supposed to teach her.
Yeah. Yeah, and 18.
Yeah.
It's a word that so Tim, did you catch that it's an obscene word?
What?
So the word 18 in English sounds like an obscene word in Korean.
Really? I didn't catch that.
Okay, yeah. So basically the little girl said 18 and then the grandma freaks out at her
Oh. Huh.
Now,
And
it's
then
a-
later they start saying like 18 as a joke.
Yeah. So that's if you ever saw them saying 18 randomly, that was what it was. It's an obscenity. It's an obscenity that I became used to because of Game of Thrones, but I won't say it for the audience's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's going to just throw it out there. Not really. It's the C one.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, kind of funny that the little child saying 18.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that would throw somebody off. Like, the
Yeah.
fuck do you say?
Yeah.
I also noticed that they let her call her mom at some point, and I thought that was really just, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation, but I thought that was weird.
Ha!
Adam's saying ha.
At Sam. So we don't do that.
No.
But I thought it was weird. Like, it's weird, but I know it's happened. Like, it happens in other cultures.
Yeah.
So you call your in-laws
No,
mom.
no. That's not what I'm talking about.
He's talking about the grandmama.
That I did not find weird. I knew that was a thing.
See?
I'm
I
talking
thought it
about
was
the
weird.
little girl calling the grandma mom because the grandma
Yeah.
would go in her episodes and she'd be like, "Oh yeah," and she thought it was
Just
her
call me
daughter.
mom, yeah.
I felt like, sorry, misunderstood what you're saying. I felt like those scenes were just basically like the actual mom was like, hey, just call her ma.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Choose your battles.
It's a choose your
I
battle
feel like
game.
it's just kind of messed up for the daughter. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Though.
Unless she
Well, 'cause
fully
she was
understands what's going on, then I guess
she
I can-
doesn't. She's in kindergarten.
Yeah, so she has no idea what's happening.
Like, she can kind of,
Mhm.
but not really.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Maybe until like 10. I don't understand children.
No.
Mhm.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. I will say my favorite scene in this film is when they're in the house and he's pretend driving.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
They're like, he's got like a cardboard box steering wheel.
Yeah.
And they're like staring out the window and he's driving.
Yeah. Well, and some of the stuff they did, like, during I guess it was their montage when they were falling back in love, like, they sat on the roof, and I was like, I don't know that I would do that.
Yeah,
like, as
about
you
that.
two, like, perhaps don't do
I'm
that.
pretty reckless about that kind of stuff. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he would. So, I'm going to restart right there.
It's okay. Do it.
He owned an old taxi.
Yes.
He called it vintage. Now, Tim's our car guy.
Sure.
Was that a vintage vehicle?
I don't think so.
It was vintage in the fact that it was old
Mm-hmm.
by definition.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I thought it was cool though that like all his friends still stuck together.
Yeah.
But it was so sad hearing about his one of the trio's wives dying
Yeah.
when they were about to go to the U.S. and
Yeah, and he had bought matching shirts and all
I
that.
know.
That was rough.
yeah, that was a sad moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, just take the car, which clearly was like to him his livelihood.
Yeah.
And like, I've heard that like taking away like an elderly person's like driver's license is like
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
mentally destroys them.
Yeah. It's just it's kind of like a
Freedom
dependency
thing, right?
thing.
Yeah.
like they're like we've been independent their whole life, and you're taking part of that away.
You suddenly cannot go where you want to go at all
Right.
times.
You're relying on
Mhm.
other people, but
Yeah. But in this case, he gave it up for the better good.
right.
Mhm.
Then he goes and gets it back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just gotta take her on a trip.
But to be fair, he gave it to the guy and told him he was going on vacation. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
And then he's like, you should cut up the roof so that you have a sunlight or whatever. And like,
I thought he was
like,
trying to say to make a convertible.
Yeah.
oh, maybe he was saying that. I don't know.
Either
Basically,
or.
some way so that you could like look up.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was funny when they finally made it to the beach, and he was like, he was right. I should have cut up the roof. Because like it seems very out of character for that guy to not be a dick.
Yeah. Dude, I also want to talk about how he like yells at his son for going to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
In literally one of the flashbacks, like The daughter is literally sick, and he's at a bar celebrating.
Yeah, that he got his like taxi license or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, father, like son.
Pretty much.
That was the baggage that I was like, that would be tough to wrangle and get over, I think. I mean, I'm not saying that you couldn't do it, but I think there would definitely be some resentment there if
and like the son
came out.
And the son had like felt guilt, was like basically told to feel guilty that his sister died.
Right.
Yeah, which is like, it's just a very like rough
tough
family dynamic. And then they allude to the fact, which I don't know if we ever actually saw him, but they alluded to the fact that the grandpa hits the grandma.
Yeah, they did. Like, he's somewhat abusive.
Yeah, because
he about slaps her.
Yeah, the son almost slaps his wife, and she's like, oh, like dad, like son, or whatever. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, she would have seen it. They do live together.
Yeah, true.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And like the grandpa goes back and tries to like make amends with the son, or the dad goes back. Depends on which generation you want to say is the base.
Right, yeah.
The dad goes back and tries to make reparations with the son, kind of, but not really.
He's still kind of a dick.
Not kind of. He is an ass.
Yeah.
Like, and I kind of wonder if part of that was like very much like his idea of success was like you're providing for your family, and his son in his eyes wasn't doing that, and so it was like very like they were forever at war because of that. I feel like
their idea of success is different.
Exactly.
Which I would say could be said about our lives, like every like culture's generations. Yeah, getting deep in this episode, man. What was I gonna say? Oh, but like they talk about going fishing, and like which one of them instigates the idea of going fishing together? Is it the son or the dad?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because the dad kind of blows off the fact that the son fishes.
I know.
So.
Also, he's never fished before.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Even I've fished. Not a fisherman.
Tim, have you fished?
Correct. I have fished because when it comes to something patient like that, I am very bad at being patient. I try.
You want results now.
Yeah. It's not only that. It's just like, I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, just like hunting, I fall asleep all the time.
Isn't that like part of the gig with hunting, though?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Last time I went hunting,
know.
I was very sick, and I had like food poisoning from a certain place, and it was when it was going around, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, I got sick for like a week. So like I went hunting, and I just haven't gone back and like done it since. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Drank
fishing.
Too much cold water.
Drinking too much cold water.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't mind the aspects of fishing and stuff, but I'd rather just like if I'm fishing, I don't mind watching other people doing it or just being there because it's very relaxing. The effort of doing the fishing and stuff, I lose interest in very quickly.
I don't like taking them off the hook. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I'd rather just sit there and watch somebody else do it and just relax because it is very relaxing. Everything's quiet. You're listening to the water, the fish.
Yeah, I get told I talk too much. To be honest.
I can see
it's
that.
It's like how I'm not allowed on a golf course. I'm not allowed on a fishing boat. I'm not allowed in the library.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah, I still remember my grandpa being like, Adam, you can just quiet down for a bit. Okay. 3 seconds later. So anyways.
That was me being quiet.
You got a good 3 seconds out of me, man. That's
pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I do enjoy, I like deep sea fishing because
deep sea fishing is awesome.
If I'm fishing, put me in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Give me something like crazy, yeah. Like I want to fish.
I'm not going to go off a bridge and fish. I don't think I'll ever do that.
Right.
You're not going to sit on the pier and fish?
Piers are different. I'm talking about like the bridge down the road from us.
Oh, okay. So like a tiny fishing hole.
Yeah, no, I'm not a tiny fishing hole. Put me in the big sea.
I really want to go fly fishing.
So she has this fascination with She has a fascination with fly fishing. We legitimately had like almost booked a trip to Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah.
Yep, Bozeman.
To go fly fishing.
Yeah, I really just want to like wade out in the water. I don't know why.
Also,
and, like,
please note
it's a
that-
relaxing thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Please note, Sam is 5 foot tall. So when she goes out there, it's
Your
going to be
water
like up
boots.
to her chin.
Yeah.
She's going to need a whole water suit.
Yeah, for reals. No, but I think it would be like super relaxing.
I know, I just think it's funny.
To do a vacation just for fly fishing. Although I totally realize that I'll probably get bored with it pretty quickly.
I'll hook you up with some people.
Thank you.
But so
Fishing.
Dad's an asshole to his son about the fishing. I can bring it back. I can get it back now.
You are our dedicated host, I believe, at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm the guy that tries to keep things on track, but the issue is I'm very ADD, so I'm the one who also leads us off track half the time.
I don't know. I go on rants. Let's have rants about rants, shall we?
It's called #TimRant.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those in a while. We haven't had a good beefy action for you to rant
I
about.
know. We need to get a. Fuck. What's that one? There was one that looked like John. They were trying to be John Wick, but they weren't. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Bringing Tim Ramps back for 2022. Just
Yeah.
saying.
So I'll work on that in this
Yeah.
next episode. They get in the car
Yes.
and they're driving, and she wakes up. She's like, "Oh, where are we going? We're going on a trip. You love trips. I love trips. Thank you for taking me on a trip."
Oh, yeah. That was cute. And she was so happy that they had like matching shirts. But you kind of glazed over the fact that she tried to commit suicide.
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
she did. I knew that was coming at some point. I just didn't know who it was
Yeah.
going to be at first.
And that was rough. Although, I did kind of like how it was before this, but then like the fact that he made light of it, which you shouldn't, but he
No.
was like, 2 is never boring or whatever. And like, he said that earlier and then he said that then. And I was just like, I mean, 2 is never boring.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
1 is the loneliest number. There's a whole song about it.
Yeah.
I've heard this,
And-
I believe.
And then before that, like, I thought it was a nice heartwarming moment when like the daughter went to like move out with the granddaughter, and the
To
dad,
her mom.
yeah, and the dad picked her up and was like, why would anybody like judge you? Like, it's a shitty situation. Like,
Right.
I would've been
nobody's
gone a
gonna think
while
less
ago.
of you for leaving.
No.
Yeah. And I've thought like that was nice too, because like, again,
It's got to be nice to hear.
he's like such an asshole for a lot of the movie that like the moments when he's good, he's like really good.
It's just
if
like
that makes sense.
extra. Yeah, it feels extra good.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's just normal good.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
He's just so much of an ass.
Yeah, that it's just like, oh, heartwarming. But anywho, so then they're on the bridge.
They
And,
get pulled over, and
Yeah.
she like fake shoots at the cop, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
and then he like fake like, oh, and I was like, wow, that's a pretty good reaction. And then she yells, "Do you want to die with us?" And I'm like,
Oh! Red flag! Red flag!
well, and then the husband looks over and he's like, how'd you know we were gonna die? Like, I was like, what is happening? Like, we're just making fun of dying right now. I don't know. It gets kind of weird for a little bit. Like, super bizarre.
he was gonna drive off a bridge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he was
yeah,
going for it, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
He was having a fiery death.
2 is never boring.
It was
Yeah.
never boring. But yeah, then they eventually make it to the beach. And while this is happening, the son and wife and their daughter all arrive back at the house and see all the notes.
Notes.
And-
Oh.
That would be wrecking.
That would be
Yeah.
really difficult to.
Because if you think it's just your mom that is,
Yeah, because
Like,
they didn't
has
know it was
dementia.
him, right?
they didn't know he
I
had
don't
it
think
either.
so. Yeah.
Because he kind of
They
kept
thought
that.
it was just her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just like went and brought her back from the nursing home, but I don't think they ever like had or found a conversation where he had it. So yeah.
I don't think he respected his son enough to tell him.
Probably. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shitty way to think, but like I just
I
don't
think
think
that.
like
Yeah, I think you're on it. Yeah.
Like, why would he's like, fuck this. He doesn't deserve to know.
Right. That, and he's probably very embarrassed is why he didn't tell his friend either. He just said, I'm going on vacation.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, still, they just go to the beach and then he goes out and sits with her after she's like, I just wanted to see the beach one more time, and then she's just fucking dead.
Yeah, she just falls over.
That was fucking terrible. Ugh. That was horrible. I was just like, no, she's not seriously dead.
Sam's
Like,
crying right now.
yeah, that was rough.
It's
She's not
rough.
crying.
She literally just flopped. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, and then you gotta watch him be all sad because he realizes she's dead, and then it flashes back to their young life.
That they talk about, like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your dreams? And he's just like, I want to pursue a career, have kids, and provide for them. And you as my wife. I want to have kids and be a mom.
And have a good husband or something like that.
Right.
And I was like...
And I was like, ooh. I don't know. I guess he technically pulls out of it towards the end. And there's a lot of the marriage of 46 years that we did not see, but he was rough.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And I was expecting it. I'm kind of glad that it didn't go this way, but I was expecting it to be more of like them losing their minds together and then them like learning who each other is, you know what I mean? And like kind of falling in love.
Sam's talking about The Notebook.
Well, oh yeah, kind of at the end. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad. What I was trying to say is I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because that's kind of like overplayed at this point.
It is, yeah.
Because of The Notebook, I think. I don't know. That was just like that's the first film I know of that deals with memory loss. Actually, no, 50 First Dates.
Well,
oh yeah.
Isn't that one different though? She has like a weird
She has
thing.
Yeah, she has.
Like she got hit in the head or something, and it causes every day to reset for her.
Yeah.
Which that is a fantastic movie. But anyway.
50 First Dates?
Yeah.
Not what I would have expected from you.
I should have picked that one for a heart-wrenching.
No.
Yeah.
If you need heart-wrenching, Adam Sandler, click.
That is hardcore. Those are probably, well, okay. I can't say that. Never mind.
I can't think of my most heart-wrenching film. Oh, Remember Me. Fuck.
Ooh, that one's
that
rough.
shit.
It has Robert Pattinson and like he's like falling in love with this girl. He's like, I don't know. He's like leading a troubled life, and then his dad's in the World Trade Center.
He's in the World Trade Center. He goes to meet his dad in the World Trade Center,
like
and his
that.
dad isn't there yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
It's
got held up.
depressing.
It's fucking
clearly.
depressing because you don't know the timeline of the fucking film.
Just kind of sneaks
except
that in
for
there.
the last scene.
Yeah, that's rough.
I just remember seeing that being like, fuck.
Never seen it.
Well, we just told you the whole plot, so you don't need to see it.
It's still
Nice.
sad. We own it, I think.
Yeah, it's good. And it's
I don't know if we've watched
Sometimes
it again.
I like to cry. Okay, that's why we own films like that.
P.S. I Love You makes you cry.
Yeah, but that one's not. I guess it's sad.
Toy
It's
Story
more
3
funny
makes
than
me
sad.
cry.
Yeah.
I can admit that. There's another movie. I don't know. Tim's like...
Toy Story 4. Toy Story 1.
No, Toy Story
2.
3 is the only one. And it's not the scene that everybody cries in. I struggle in the scene where he's giving the toys to Bonnie. Because he's giving up his childhood. It hit at the wrong, like, perfect time for me. I don't know. Anyways.
I feel like we watched a sad movie, didn't we? Because I remember during the first season saying that I wept in some movie. I don't remember what it was.
Hold on. It was Interstellar, but...
Oh, okay, there you go.
It was also... Hold on, I'll tell you the name of the movie. I'm blanking on it.
I was trying to see how this one stacks up to that one. But I don't remember what movie that was, so...
Oh, it was Swept Away. You guys were Tim was bawling during that one,
Bawling
too.
in pain, more like, probably.
Hashtag callback. Okay,
Yes.
so... I have no more notes.
Me neither.
Tim?
I am out.
Okay, let's do the cast then. Meija, the grandma, was played by Young Suk Jung. She's in The Light in Your Eyes, Loner, which is funny with the name, like with the husband always being like, 2 is better. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then A Ship with No Sails.
Ooh.
That just sounds cool, right?
It does.
But then it's just like a skiff. But Nam Bong, which is the husband / dad / grandpa, is played by Soon Jae Lee. He's in Late Blossom, High Kick, and Ugly Alert.
Ugly Alert.
I'm pretty sure these movies are like the Nickelodeon like TV shows in Korea.
Okay.
But I didn't dig deep.
Okay.
Jin Soo. We're going to do Jin Soo last. Jung Hee is the wife of the son. She's played by Bae Hae Soon. She's in Happiness, While You Were Sleeping, and SF8. Now, Jin Soo is played by Jo Han Shul. He's in The Juror, Healer, and then Tim. Are you prepared for this? In The Wailing.
What?
The son was the detective. Detective number 1 in The Wailing.
Interesting.
Detective number 1?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think he was one of the guys that wasn't in like the actual cop uniforms.
Yeah.
And he had the jacket and walked over and talked to our main character.
That's wild.
No, because I was like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Because like I normally catch this stuff in The Wailing or something, but then I didn't.
There were a couple of scenes where there were a lot of like detectives and cops. So.
Yeah, he was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
This was 3 years earlier. So the director is Shang-Gun Lee. This is her or his. I'm not certain. Directorial premiere.
Nice.
So this is their first film ever, and they wrote it. So nice.
Yeah.
IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10. Google gave it has it at a 93%. The box office was, I have no idea the budget, but the box office was, I think, 1.3 million USD.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I guess, you know what? I'm going to go first this time.
Jerry, you won't do it.
So, this movie had its moments, although it was kind of a more boring film for me. It was sad. Like, Tim, you hit it with the sadness. Like, but I don't know, like, maybe for me, I haven't had as much, like, dementia in my family, so it wasn't as heart-wrenching, because, like, you can't get into their point, like, you can get into their point of view, but, like, you haven't lived through it as much. Mm-hmm. So, like, that wasn't as, like, ripping out of the heart as much as it could be for others. I don't know. I'm not going to flip it on. It is a good movie to see if you're interested in a dementia movie. I don't know if that might bring much interest for people.
I was like, are people interested in that?
I don't know. It's a Korean drama. If you're
There
wanting
you
to
go.
just catch something new. Like, it's a new director. So,
There you go.
yeah. Tim, how about you?
Yeah.
He's done.
It didn't pull at the strings that I was hoping it would. As sad of a movie as it was, like that kind of stuff is hard to go through. I just don't think the movie portrayed, or I don't know, maybe it's just how I am, but I'm gonna flip this one off. I don't know. I just think it missed a lot of marks for me, and I just found like the whole montage scene when they're basically in the house by themselves doing all that stuff was weird. I get where they're coming from, but I don't know. I think there's other movies that kind of cover this better, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe that's why this movie was made. But I don't know. I just wasn't drawn into this movie necessarily. I think it was a nice little story and whatnot, but
I think it could have done better if it was like 20 minutes shorter.
yeah.
All right, so Sam.
I agree with you guys. I
wasn't sure. You weren't looking like you were like, the fuck they saying?
no. I was expecting it to be
More
okay. So
more sad.
yeah, like the way it tees it up, it makes it seem like it's gonna be some great, like, sad, like, tragedy of romance situation, right? And like I don't think it quite gets there. And I think for me, it's like I keep harping on the fact that, like, the family dynamic was kind of, like, off. And so I don't think, like, they set that straight and then they never really, like, I don't want to say fixed it because you might. I mean, you don't have to fix it for it to be good, but like I don't know. It felt like it was trying to do a couple different things and it didn't really land on some of them, and so I don't know. Like it definitely had its sad moments where it got it right, but I thought there was a lot of fluff, if that makes sense. Like
the whole idea, if you cut 20 minutes of out, you would lose a lot of that fluff.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it felt like there was not. I don't know. I don't want to call it like slice of life, but like kind of just some weird, like for lack of a better word, like boring parts, like the picnic, right? Like I don't know. Like I get it, but it felt. I don't know. It felt off.
Right.
I think it could have been better. Is all. So yeah, I'm flipping it off too.
Sad day.
I know. We'll just have to try again another time to get us all weeping. I'm sure we'll get there one of these days.
Maybe I can do that next week.
Yeah.
Sam, do you want to spin for me?
AI suggestions.
AI suggestions. But yeah, it could be that, or we'll either get that or like a Tim rant. You know, get an action film going.
Dude, I think you've gotten all of these. You got Before Their Time.
Damn.
I feel like
do
you've
get
gotten
a lot
of
of
cult
those.
classics.
I do. So we're gonna find some
A
cult
sad cult
classic-y
classic. I'm just kidding.
action depression. We're gonna find an old cult classic that is an action film that Tim rants on. That'll all make us weep.
Yeah.
That'll make us weep. I think you could do that. That's how hard could that be?
Right.
It sounds very difficult, but I'm up for the challenge. Dun, dun, dun. But
Oh,
yeah.
I guess we won't see them until the new year. So, Happy New Year.
Actually, I think
Happy
it's already the new year.
Oh.
Hey!
It's Happy New Year.
It's right regardless, just not the way I thought.
We're professionals.
So when I said
Ultra
we're bringing a
profesh.
Tim rant into 2022, I meant it.
Come on,
It's now
yeah.
2022.
Yes. Catch you on the flippity flop.